It's your first fucking episode on the podcast.
No, we done that at the start.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah, we done that at the
Right,
start.
camera's running anyway, so yeah.
Yo, boys!
We don't know what's going on.
We got high, the camera's rolling, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Yes, people, so we're back, man, and we're kicking it off with a brand new podcast show, man. And this is episode 1 in the new season, Smoke Loud Smoke Box. And in our first one, introducing our 2 special guests in the Bristol scene right now. They are smashing it, they are crushing it in the tattoo scene, man. So we got first introduction. Say your name, brother.
Andy, innit?
Yo.
We got Joe, Instagram, Death Letters.
There you go, man. So yeah, like we said, on Instagram, Andy in it. On Instagram, Death Letters. You can find them. You can find all their work related. But like I said, in the Bristol scene right now, these 2 are crushing it. But in 2 different aspects of work. So like tattoo scene, there's a lot of scenes in the tattoo scenes, boys. Yeah, come on, get me wrong. I grew up in the tattoo scene myself, and I've seen it rise. I've seen it change. There's loads of different styles out there right now, and your style to Andy's style. On complete different paths. Same with like how you are in life general, the same with like how I've seen with you with your weed, your painting, etc. And how Andy is with his. I know Andy on a personal level, so I can say some things a little bit more like I knew that he once so in close ties with showboating weed, etc. Letting the people know that he was a blazer. He was a secret blazer, yeah? You were a secret blazer trying to hide it. But then on the other hand, you know what I'm saying? You got Death Letters would let you know, man, I smoke loud. But yeah, so basically I just want an introduction. How the hell did you both become tattoo artists? You know what I mean? It's a bit of a different choice in life, especially as like your age as well. Like you're not a new age tattooist, you know what I'm saying? You're a lot older than a lot of these new age people, man. Yeah. So, boom, how did you first come into the tattoo scene?
I don't know. I'm almost coming up 40 now, man. So
yeah, man. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I picked you too, because of you're not the new age. I didn't want to get the new age.
I didn't start tattooing until I was 30.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, so I'm kind of new age in terms of like I've come in where the industry is at in the last like 5 years.
When it started to blow, like I want to say when it kind of like modernized, kind of like went from the real, like obviously the traditional's always been in there, but it went from that real traditional old school styles to then you seen tattoo shops change and modernize, and you know what I mean. They went from kind of, I want to say the grungy look, but I don't want people to feel like that's bad on their shop because
I think like everyone went like black and grey for a bit as well. Like everything
black and grey works. The picture works.
And then like so when I first kind of got introduced with tattooing when I was like 16. There was no such thing as like fine line and like ignorant and all this sort of stuff. And like trad was like your old school like trad flash off of the like pick it off the wall.
Off the wall.
Yeah, number 7, like that kind of thing. And that's how tattooing's always been for me. So to come into the industry at 30 and find there's all this depth to tattooing is just so much more. And even like the way that like you do with your lettering, like that's so much, like I was always just aware of like Chicano style lettering and obviously your block caps and your old school and things like that, but then to see like boys like yourselves coming out and doing like mad freehand stuff, it's just, I was so unaware of the depth there is to tattooing these days, even coming in at 30, you know, so.
And the following for like each style, you know massive, what I'm saying? Like, they're not just one style, they've all got so many followers, and that's why artists right now are blowing up, and just going in on them one styles and sticking to them one styles, you know.
You used to have to be a rounded tattooist, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I've grown up like just hanging out in tattoo shops and that with my dad and things. So
was your dad a tattooist then?
No, just
okay. So what, you just used to be around the tattooists, etc.
Yeah. One of his best mates tattooed, man. So we'd just be go down there. He'd be getting tattooed, and then I get tattooed there when I was old enough. You know.
Yeah, man.
It's just gone from there. But like even before that, mate, I was just always interested in it.
So what was it? A group of bikers or what though? Because of like back then, tattooing was kind of mostly in that scene.
It is, well, yeah, man. it's just a rebel thing, isn't it? Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's
like a rebel thing.
Yeah, all cultures have got their own like version of it. Do you know what I mean? And like you were saying, Andy, like when I first got into it, like it wasn't like you got the internet now. Do you know what I mean? The only thing I could see was stuff on like TV. Films, do you know what I mean?
The Skin Deep mags and that.
Well, yeah,
I remember seeing them in my dad's shop stacked
Well,
up.
it's like when Miami Ink came along. Like Miami Ink was just crazy.
Just like all it was like magazines,
Yeah.
and like my dad would have some, or like when I got old enough to start buying them myself. And even then, it was just like the newsagents look at you weird for buying a fucking tattoo magazine. Do you know what I mean?
Were they top shelf like the porn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you got looked frowned upon for grabbing it, man. Like, yo,
dashing it under the tea.
It's kind of linked in with like freak show stuff. Do you know what I mean? Piercing and that, but it's just due to ignorance, really. Like, unless you were in the scene, you just couldn't. There was all these, like you're saying, all these trends and like styles were all there because that's where it all comes from. Do you know what I mean? It comes from different subcultures.
So obviously,
but yeah, the internet's just blown it up massive, and like Instagram was
your main
massive,
thing.
man. Like seeing that.
Yeah, Instagram
evolve,
changed
like,
it.
Instagram changed the game for a lot of businesses, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But for sure. So you got your first shop.
Competition's just got higher and higher, man. It's like off the scale now. Even after COVID as well, and people just had 2 years to just draw and shit.
Yeah, a lot of artists come out of COVID, didn't they? They found they had a little hidden talent, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, for you rose up and went mental in the scene, bro. Like fucking hell, laddie. Over the past 3 years, you've excelled from working in your own. You had your own tattoo studio with your ex-partner, etc.
Yeah.
Then you breached into the Bristol scene, come to the big wide world city, of Bristol. And then where did you end up? You ended up what was it called before? It was Level.
It was Level originally, yeah, and then obviously it's Stush now. But it was an interesting journey from like dairy farming and then figuring out like a tattoo, which was crazy. It just started as a lockdown thing. Like this girl that I was with at the time, she was really, really talented tattoo artist. Obviously lockdown, she wasn't working. She just started doing some of the like practice skins and stuff to like keep practicing, keep her eye in and that. Yeah. I just started doing some of it as like something to do in the evening, and never really had any real plans of it becoming like an actual career. And then after COVID, we just decided like let's make a run at this. And yeah, it was good.
It was good as well, though, man. Like you went in, you jumped into the deep end.
Yeah, because I had a good job, man. I had a good job. I had a house. I was managing a farm. I was happy. But I guess for me, I wanted something more in life, and I guess tattooing
independence.
And tattooing gave me
freedom.
It did. That's what it was. It gave
freedom
me that
freedom and independence.
It gave me that freedom. I spent my whole life tied to farming, and farming's so routine.
I
it's so routine.
Like a 10-year 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Realizing it's just shit and you don't get nowhere with it.
But then, like I said, you excelled from just tattooing to now what? Stush is an establishment now.
Yeah.
It's not just one HQ.
No, we got a lot.
We got like 3-4 shops.
So we got 2 in Bristol, and then we got 1 in Spain, and obviously got the barbers and the music studios and everything like that. And then obviously on a personal level, I got a couple of other shops of my own.
That's good, man.
Just about to open a 4th shop in Bristol, so that's going to be really cool.
That's well, obviously before Stush etc. Level had a brilliant name for the haircut.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean.
Cool
You're a brilliant boss, which is wicked. I think the partnership that you're in with him is excelled. You're both in your careers massively. Like you said, you've got like fucking 4 shops now.
Yeah. Going
overseas to Spain.
Yeah, and he's been a massive help for me as well. Like just even like I don't drink anymore. I've been teetotal since December.
But you've kept the weed.
Well, yeah, and
you've kept the weed out of everything.
The weed was something.
Come on. Can't come to the smoke box and not smoke.
I think the weed has always been there, but it was always when I first got into tattooing.
Yeah, this is what I want. Because you told me a few times about this. And
yeah,
you were a hush.
Yeah,
weed head.
I guess the thing for me was like I came into the other side of tattooing with somebody that really wanted to do it very like clean cut. So everything that I learned from tattooing was about the Instagram, the new age side of tattooing, which
that takes me back to the first question where I said tattoo changed.
Yeah.
I went to that like modernized.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it before, well, for me, like my dad's tattoo shop was a head shop, so for me it was normal, bro. Like going into weed things, etc. For me, seeing that is just like, yo, it should be with the industry, and I never got that new modernized tattoo.
No, I think it is like that, but I think that there's always going to be that undercurrent of it, but the new Instagram side of it was like everything's a brand and everything's a business, and because everything's a brand and everything's a business, you have to tail a slightly different line where you're not getting blocked on Instagram, you're not getting shadow banned.
Instagram likes that clean
it
cut
that
look,
right thing, and that's what I learned from tattooing. It was like, above everything else, like it used to be, you're a good tattoo artist first and then you sell your work afterwards. Now it's, you know how to use Instagram, you know how to take like photos, you know how to take like reels and stuff before you can even fucking learn to tattoo. So so like you're almost like
you got to learn a social job.
Yeah, you got to learn the socials before you learn to even tattoo. It's part of it.
Yeah,
so that's kind of what I learned.
Though, man. Like,
yeah,
you're just promoting it on your own, man.
Yeah,
it's always a struggle, like whatever you're doing.
So I always kept that really quiet because that was the thing that kind of was always like, don't show it off. You don't want people thinking you're this. You don't want people thinking you're that. But then as I've got more established as an artist and more established within the industry, as in that I feel comfortable. Like I don't really give a crap what anyone else thinks of me, but I feel comfortable with where I am.
Yeah.
I started showing more of the lifestyle that I like, which came a lot from Spain and being in the cafes in Spain and things like that, and being able to be like, yeah, this is what I like. And then the flip side to that is I've actually found that a lot of my clients have started finding me more relatable, because it's more like what I'm putting out now is more real about who I am, rather than just
that's it, mate.
Like
that's what it's
stuff,
about.
you know?
You're an artist, bro. You just got to be.
And
real.
I find that is when you've got a brand or an
an
artist or something, and say some people make brands as something and they don't attach their self to the brand.
Yeah,
but
they don't believe in it.
If you attach yourself to the brand and you become the face, people will kind of want to see the journey. Kind of want to see the life that you live. Kind of want to see more than the tattoo.
Yeah.
They want to see you draw the tattoo. They want to see you at home. I don't know, maybe stressing up, chucking over the picture 10 times before it's even drawn on the picture. You know what I'm saying? And people like that.
People quite like failure now. Like in terms of
not so much failure.
No, but like
failure.
in terms of like you're trying to get to somewhere.
Yeah, and they like you see them repeat, and you're not giving up.
Before it was like, this is what I started, and here's the finished result. People now like seeing that bit in the middle, which is where you kind of ballsed it up a bit, and then like you try and draw something 4 or 5, 6 times to get to where it is. Whereas like before, it was like a half like video of you half drawing something, and then it would just be bang, there's the finished result. People like seeing that bit in the middle where you're like, oh, like this isn't working and stuff, because it feels more legit about what it is that you're doing.
The thing is, art, though, if you're passionate about anything, putting it out there, you're like, you make yourself vulnerable, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's hard,
because obviously
to push yourself.
You're putting yourself and something you love, and you're getting attached to it. Before you put that out, you don't understand, you're attached to it. Same with
you've got to love it
brands
first,
you love, you put that out. So when someone does give you some criticism, you have to kind of take that on the chin and kind of use it for either doing something better and pushing something more, you know what I mean? Or
if you're real with yourself, mate, and all you're trying to do is what you're passionate about, and you're not trying to like, obviously you've got to make money and survive, but if you're going for your passion, bro, like people are going to notice that, and you're being real, and that's why I smoke on. I'll put it on Instagram. That I don't care, man. That's me. I'm being real.
Yeah,
I'm not selling you a line, and I don't have to worry. And I can, if I believe in myself, you can push yourself. Then. But
I think it took me a long time to get there. It took me a long time to understand.
Obviously, for your art, people are still
even you running this business.
Your art and what your style of tattooing is and etc. Man. So there's a lot to it, man.
I think I've learned to be proud. I've learned to be proud of my friends as well. Like I've learned to be proud of what they're achieving and what they're doing.
Yeah, for real. Your surroundings are what you keep around you, man. You know what I mean. And obviously, you want your friends to push you for when you're doing good. You know, congratulate you and. So
and I want to push them, and I think pushing them has meant, like, obviously with yourself and stuff, like it's meant that I've almost had to be more like. I can't just be like, oh, this is my mate, he's got his sick headshot, like blah blah blah, and then people be like, well, you don't even smoke weed or nothing. Do you know what I mean? So I guess for me as well, wanting to promote my mates and stuff, you got to be real with that as well, and be like, yeah, I'm promoting it, but the reason I'm promoting it is because he's not just my mate, he actually does a sick thing, and I think that is helped me to be like more real with it.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, man. And I think like, if you're being real like that as well, like you realise. It is hard when you're trying to. You realise there's levels to it, and you're like, "Fuck, that person is fucking good at that." Do you know what I mean? And I thought maybe I'd be that good one day, and then you realise like that's how much time that takes.
Yeah,
passion,
mate,
and then
crazy.
Like you said, then when you see someone else doing something that you enjoy, and you can tell that from them because they're being real.
And you know the dedication.
You notice that, man, and you give them respect. You know what I mean?
And Bristol as well, man. Like shit, Bristol has got the craziest artists, from street artists to tattoo artists to just.
I'd say Bristol, is
just
in some of the cities that I go to is one of the biggest, especially Bedminster. Like we live in Bedminster. Is one of the biggest, man. All of the memorials around here, from
down West Street and
etc.
East Street,
stacked up. You're lucky because on one of your shops you've actually got a mural.
Yeah, we've got on the top. We got Hazard One. She drops a mural.
That changes every year or so. So that brings a lot of attention to the shop as well.
Yeah, and we tend to have like 3 of the big walls around us as well. So like, because we got the 3 big ones there, people generally spend so much time around that little area, and I think just seeing some of the artwork that comes out of Bristol is just crazy, and I don't think people really realise how much is here, right down from music as well, like the because obviously we do a little bit with
so many cultures. Do you know what I mean?
That's everything.
You got
the music here is mad because like even so like alright, the other day I went to a rave, Slowy's rave, and it was in the most randomest venue, right, so it's underneath the galleries, and so like I'm looking around, it looks like a car parking lot, but like, you know what I mean, that's how big the music scene is in Bristol. The venues that are opening up and letting them do music venues there is sick. Obviously there is some that's closing and some that's been there a long time and that is gone, etc., but it's good to see that more opening up.
When you step outside Bristol, you don't realise sometimes
how lucky is everyone says that to me, man. Especially having a shop here, they always say, a lot of those people that come here and I ask them where they're from, they're like out of town, and I'm like, oh, what you doing here for the weekend? They're like, music venue or something.
100%.
We're lucky with it. We are lucky.
The only place that I've seen that's a little bit like it really is Berlin.
Okay.
Like Berlin's like that. There's just street art everywhere in Berlin, and everyone you speak to is either an artist or a musician.
See, Germany just legalised weed, innit? I haven't done the trip yet, so I think next
Berlin
year
was sick.
Definitely Berlin's on my chips for next year, man. I'm gonna check that one out, but the weed's legal there, so boom, I think it's gonna be a trip for the future, man.
For you, like with tattooing, do you find that because of smoking weed, it's ever hindered you anywhere with guest spots or opportunities within the industry?
No, man. I only smoke. If it becomes a problem, I just put it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I already I smoke a lot, but then I'll have big breaks. I don't need it. You know what I mean?
So you do the tolerance breaks?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I just don't feel like it. I just don't need it all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's not even,
I don't feel like I need it. I just know that I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel for me.
But that's a healthy relationship.
So there's no alcohol or nothing.
If it's a wedding,
I'd rather go home and have a spliff than go home and kick back and have a beer or whatnot, you know?
I think you got to think as well, like, for me, is I had not a problem with alcohol, but I enjoyed it a bit too much. And I think since I've become completely sober, but I still have the weed, I've realised massively that, like, how on earth that can be illegal, but
I can be productive on weed.
Yeah, I can be productive. And when have you ever seen 2 blokes kicking the crap out of each other high as hell?
No,
but you go down to Wetherspoons on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, and it's like...
So you've been going to Spain and whatnot, so you've been going to the coffee shops out there when you've been visiting Spain.
Yeah.
What do you think of the coffee shops out there? You think that's...
Oh mate, it's incredible. It's and they have like really cool stuff going on in there within the club. They'll have so one of the ones we smoke in a lot in Fengarola is a club called Five, and Cinco's really cool club, and they host like FIFA tournaments and like Call of Duty tournaments in there and stuff. And they're open from 11 a.m. till like 3 a.m. the next day. It's fucking mad. And you can order food in there, they'll let you have food in there, all sorts of different things. And it's just got a really nice chill vibe. And I've never at any point ever seen any type of hate in any of those clubs. In Marbella, in Fengarola, like Torremolinos, anywhere like that. Any club I've been into, everyone has welcomed you, everyone wants to speak to you, everyone wants to know what you're doing, where you're from, and it's just a happy
enjoyable place.
And I've made so many links through just being in the coffee shops, just chatting, you know, like...
Tattoo, not tattoo.
Is that's
weed makes it makes you feel your emotions internal, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like alcohol is external when you like...
Yeah. But you never get that in the club. Like I've been to so many parties.
So you're more compassionate, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And as you want to be. Like,
I've been to so many like proper fancy parties in Marbs, and made no connections, no links, no friends,
you're wasted,
no nothing,
dancing.
But it's not even that. But you're so aware that everybody there is trying to put on like a front and a show that you're there kind of like trying to act all macho all the time when actually you just want to chat some bare shit about aliens to someone or something. You know what I mean? But you can't because you're on some bed that you've paid like 2.5 G for, and you're there with your fucking gold all round. You're thinking you're like Conor McGregor or something, and you're so in that kind of like world of that you just don't enjoy it. But then I'll go to a coffee shop and I'll just buy a £20 pre-roll because I can't fucking roll, and then just have a great time. Do you know what I mean? I'm sitting having a good time.
But if you love just going out partying and that's cool as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's no rules to nothing.
No, there's not a rule to it.
Yeah.
I just find the vibe in the coffee shops just so much more what I personally.
Exactly, man. A lot of artists are as well, because artists are quite introverted usually, because you sit on your own fucking drawing. It's not normal to a lot of people. Yeah. And you have to enjoy that to carry on doing it. And like that's the other thing with alcohol is like I think about the next day. It ruins the next day for me. Yeah. Just a day I could be like I want to be drawing, progressing. Yeah. Like it's
you ain't gonna tackle
that. Not for an ego thing. Like I've got to do it. Do you know what I mean? Or I've got to create something. If I don't, like. You just go mad.
That's it. That's like being that self-employed creative person, having your own shop, having your own thing to depend on. You don't want to waste a day. You don't want to make it all great. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have that, man.
It's your first fucking episode in the podcast.
No, we done at the start.
Did you?
Yeah, we done at the start.
Camera's running anyway, so yeah.
Yo, boys. we got high. The camera's rolling. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Everyone's on the smoke box. It's been a fucking wicked episode, man. Come on.
Thank you, man.
Come on. It's good to have your boys, man. It's been wicked, yo. You check the tags at the start. Drop a like, type a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Future episodes, all of that, man. Yo, that's a smoke loud smoke box, man. That's a wrap. Episode 1. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Our next guest is absolutely sick.